couple weeks ago, I took Karin, my beautiful wife, to the national park here close by to see the Northern Lights. She's never seen them, I have before, and I thought, how fun. Let's go and photograph these gorgeous Northern Lights. While we were out there, I was using my tripod and I did not securely latch my camera. But while we were walking around and I was loading my camera back into my car, it popped right off and landed on the ground. And this happened. Of course, in the moment, I was absolutely devastated. Honestly, I didn't really know what to do. My head was spinning. I was in shock. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it. I've never broken a lens in my life. And the lens switch was on, everything was great. The first thing that I saw actually was the microphone had broken, and I was like, okay, a $100 microphone, I can live with that. It sucks, but I can live with that. Turns out I could actually fix the microphone, and then I started looking a little closer, and I couldn't zoom. Couldn't zoom on my camera. It was stuck at about 18 millimeters. And then I realized, I saw it. I realized I had bent the barrel. Oh my gosh, I was just, I don't even know how to explain the feeling. I mean, if this has ever happened to you, it's like losing a child, I assume. I can't compare it to that. I can't compare it to that, can I? No, it's not like losing a child. I mean, but it was really bad. Like it was just so painful. My heart broke. So we packed up, we drove back home, and I started doing a little bit of research right off the bat. I started looking. And I knew that I could send in for a repair probably because none of the glass elements were broken. In fact, it worked surprisingly well. The autofocus was still tack sharp. It hit it right away and could still detect faces and all that stuff, but it was a little bit blurry on both sides. So I just searched online. I tried to find anything that I could. I knew that sending it into Sony would cost me a ton of money. Warranty's not gonna cover something like this. So I checked to make sure that I didn't take out any insurance policies, and my wife reminded me that when we were getting our new insurance, and she asked me, hey Isaiah, do you think we should get insurance for your camera gear? I said, no, I don't need that. I've never broken anything before. We're good. Yeah, well, quick tip, get insurance. Highly recommend. And this is my only wide-angle lens. It's the one that I use for almost everything. I use it even for portraits, sometimes for product stuff, and at this point, I can't use it for any professional work. It would look way too shoddy. So I've taken a few photos with it. They turn out okay, but you can really tell something's wrong. And in my videos especially, you can tell something's wrong. I wanted to get into action quickly. I don't want this lens to be away from me for weeks. I didn't want to send it to Sony and spend a whole ton of money on it and have to rent a lens or whatever. So I found this guy, Pierre Lambert, really cool dude. This actually happened to him earlier in 2018. He was on a trip, he broke his lens, it dropped off his tripod, literally about the same situation, I'm sure. So he tried to repair it himself. And I cannot thank you enough, Pierre, for putting out this video. You gave me faith in myself, and I'm sure other people that have broken lenses that it is possible to fix a lens on your own, although it might be incredibly hard. So I messaged Pierre because I want to make sure I had all the right parts. I want to make sure that I had everything ready to go before I got digging into this lens. And to my surprise, he actually responded, gave me a bunch of tips. So thank you, Pierre, so much for that. And I'm gonna jump into this thing. I'm really excited. I've never done anything like this before, but I am a DIY kind of guy. And I think, you know, the worst that could happen is I have to put it back together and send it back to Sony. So I've got everything I need, I think. I've got a screwdriver, I've got those little picks to get underneath some of the softer parts of the camera, handy little knife for anything that I might need to cut. I've got some electric tape. So I should be set to go. I'm gonna jump right into this lens and see if we can't repair it ourselves. Fingers crossed, you guys. Fingers crossed.
So good at pretending, keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending, spending time like it was going backwards. Bruises covering my walls, but they fall down, diving deeper in the books that we read blind, breathing in and breathing out to get smarter, not working out for me, yeah.
Look at that front element. Holy mackerel. It's beautiful. Crazy. I'm actually dealing with a problem right now. The issue that I'm dealing with is that this lens, I can't seem to get off this back piece. And from the video that I saw from Pierre, it should slide off pretty easily when you detach this piece right here and this back piece. But at the moment I can't seem to slide this off, and I don't know if that's because when it bent it actually got larger in the case, which if that's the problem then we're kind of screwed. I don't know how I'm gonna get to it. As I was taking it apart, I'm trying to get to that front element, the piece that I bought to replace a glass element out actually of the camera, and I got to that piece, but I can't seem to remove it through that I can see on the camera right now, except for 3 small ones located deeper in that back element. So I don't have the right size screwdriver for it. I can't seem to get to them just because they're so far down. So I'm at Walmart and I'm gonna see if I can find a screwdriver that fits that spot. If not, I'm at the Home Depot. I'll be able to find one, right? I mean, I should be able to find one. I did take out those screws. As you can see, they're empty now. And as I suspected, excuse me, it just makes this back piece wiggle. So that's all that it did. It just loosened that piece up. But I still am unable to remove this back shell. This shell should be able to come off. This shell should pop off. And then there's actually another casing in here that's attached to this front piece that holds the front element. So this should slide off at this point. I think all of the screws are disconnected. I have looked over this thing at least a billion times. I swear I have checked every nook and cranny for any extra screws, and I can't find anything. It is literally driving me insane. I'm like, I've never been so anxious in my life, because I know I'm literally one step away from having this thing fixed. Like all I need to do is, where did it go? Pop in this thing. That's it. That's my only step. That's the last step. I am to the final step, and I can't get there. It's frustrating the crap out of me. I'm gonna keep pushing away and see if I can find any way at all. I'm gonna watch a couple more videos and see if I can find any way to get into this. I was able to get this piece out miraculously. It came out. I was really nervous to be using the pliers to get it off, but it did come off, and we are about to see what actually went wrong with this thing. If I can get this guy off of here. Moment of truth. Oh, there's a bent piece of metal. Oh boy, yikes. Okay, so you see here? Oh, look at how bent it is. That's not good. Okay, so that is on this piece that I just destroyed. So we'll see. I gotta get this ring off and then this screw out. So I got that screw out. There it is there. This is the damage. Oof. Honestly, it looks like this outer ring, the piece that I bought, it looks like that is damaged, but it also looks like this is damaged. Oh, man. Pleased to say that I got it out, and that is the issue. I don't see anything else wrong with it. This is the barrel that moves, and there's a little bit of scratch there from the metal moving, I'm sure. But overall, looks like it's in great condition and ready to be put back together. So it is 2:35. Let's put this thing back together. I'm so shocked. I am so excited. Honestly, I thought that last bit there was gonna be the end of it. I thought I was toast. Honestly, I did, and it scared the crap out of me. So I've got the lens on here. Manual focus is not working at the moment, which is pretty frustrating. And autofocus is not working at the moment. Along with that, I am not able to change the aperture at all right now. And the problem is that the ribbons that the electronic component of the lens, the very last ribbon, the one that connects the actual connector to the back from the back of the lens to the camera, there's a little latch. It's so small. It's so small you wouldn't even know it's there. There's a little latch that you actually need to click down once you connect that ribbon, and it's the only one of the 4 ribbons that you need to connect that actually needs that. And I didn't notice it at first, but after messing around with it, it caught my eye, and I figured, well, what the heck, let's give it a try. And you know what? It's totally worth it. Yeah, mind-blowing. What a rewarding experience. I feel like I know a whole lot more about my camera than I did before. I can't say that I recommend it because it's like extremely nerve-wracking and gave me terrible anxiety, especially when it didn't start working there at the end. Seriously mind-blowing. If you're thinking about fixing your own lens, if you're in the same situation that I am, if you didn't buy insurance, you should buy insurance, by the way. I'll leave the link to all the stuff that I did down below. And also the link to Pierre's blog, because his blog is pretty thorough. There's a few things that he missed that I think would have been helpful, but there's a lot to learn from that. And if you have questions or if you're doing this yourself, don't be afraid to reach out. I will be happy to connect with you, happy to share with you my thoughts, my concerns, my feelings about the whole process, and hopefully help you along with it in your process as well. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one. Whoosh.